Welcome to Apricot Light on Pages of Rain, a soothing and enchanting sleep story designed to gently guide you towards restful slumber within the tranquil library of rain. If you find peace in these calming narratives and wish to experience more journeys like this, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel for future tales of tranquility. Before we enter the valleys and our mists, we will begin with a gentle breathing guidance to help you unwind and prepare for the peaceful stories held within the Raindrop books. If you prefer to skip directly to Anya's arrival at the library and the beginning of her story, you can find chapter timestamps conveniently located in the description below. Allow yourself to settle into a comfortable position. Let your body relax against your bed, feeling supported and secure. Adjust your blankets and pillows until you feel perfectly cozy and at ease. This is your time to let go of the day's demands and invite tranquility into your evening. Imagine the soft apricot light of the Library of Rain enveloping you, a gentle warmth that melts away any tension and prepares you for peaceful rest. Let the stories held within the raindrops soothe your mind. Now let's take a calming breath together. Gently inhale through your nose, allowing the air to fill your lungs with ease, like breathing in the fresh, damp air of the Valley of Mists. Then exhale slowly through your mouth, like a soft sigh of contentment, releasing any lingering worries. With each breath, feel your body softening and becoming heavier, sinking deeper into relaxation. Visualize the gentle apricot light filtering through stained glass, casting warm hues across the shelves of Raindrop books, each one waiting to share its calming tales. Let these images fill your mind with serenity. If your thoughts begin to wander, simply acknowledge them gently, like mist drifting through the valley. Do not hold on to them, just let them pass, and softly bring your attention back to your breath or the sound of my voice. There is nothing you need to do now except listen and allow the stories of the Raindrop books to carry you towards sleep. Feel the gentle rhythm of the valley, the quiet murmur of the mist, the soft turning of pages. Let these peaceful sensations wash over you, guiding you into a state of deep and restful slumber. Allow the calming apricot light to lead you into tranquility. Now, let us begin our journey into the Library of Rain, where stories of gentle gardens and whispering willows await to lull you into a peaceful night. Chapter 1. Arrival at the Valley of Mists. Anya's journey had been long, not in miles, but in the quiet wearing down of her spirit. The world outside felt loud, insistent, demanding, a constant barrage of sensations that frayed her inner peace. She sought a sanctuary, a whispered legend of a place where stories bloomed from rain and light, calmed the most restless heart. This legend led her to the Valley of Mists, a place spoken of only in hushed tones, a haven for those seeking solace. As she approached the valley's entrance, the air began to change. The harsh sunlight of the open land softened, diffusing into a gentle, pearly glow as mist began to swirl around her. The sounds of the outside world, the distant rumble of carts and the shouts of vendors, faded, replaced by the soft sigh of the wind through unseen trees and the gentle trickle of water. Anya felt a tangible shift, a lessening of the constant tension she had carried for so long. The path into the valley wound gently downwards, paved with smooth, moss-covered stones that felt cool and yielding beneath her worn boots. On either side, ancient trees, their branches draped with silvery mist, stood like silent guardians. The leaves, a deep, muted green, rustled softly even without a noticeable breeze, creating a constant whispering murmur that seemed to calm the very air around her. The scent of damp earth and blooming night flowers, though she could not yet see them, filled the air with a sweet, grounding fragrance. As she walked deeper, the mist thickened, not obscuring her path, but softening the edges of the world, creating a sense of gentle enclosure. It wasn't a cold or oppressive mist, but rather a comforting veil, a gentle embrace that seemed to whisper promises of peace and respite. Anya paused, closing her eyes, and inhaled deeply, letting the cool, damp air fill her lungs. She could feel the tension in her shoulders beginning to ease, a small but noticeable loosening of the knots that had formed there. The sound of water trickling grew stronger, resolving into the gentle murmur of a small stream that ran alongside the path. The water was clear and cool, reflecting the soft, diffused light like liquid silver. Anya reached out and touched the water, the coolness seeping into her fingertips, a refreshing sensation that spread through her hand and up her arm. The sound of the stream was rhythmic and soothing, a natural lullaby that resonated deep within her. Rounding a gentle bend in the path, the Library of Rain came into view. It wasn't a grand or imposing structure, but rather something that seemed to have grown organically from the mountainside itself. Its walls were constructed of a stone that shimmered faintly in the mist, reflecting the soft light in 1,000 subtle hues. The structure was nestled amongst ancient trees, their branches reaching out as if to embrace and protect it. The entrance to the library was a simple arched doorway, framed by climbing vines with small, white blossoms that emitted a delicate, sweet fragrance. Above the doorway, an inscription was carved into the stone, in a language Anya didn't recognize, yet somehow understood. It felt like a welcome, a gentle invitation to step across the threshold and leave the burdens of the world behind. The air around the entrance felt still and quiet, holding a sense of profound peace. Hesitantly, Anya approached the doorway, her footsteps making no sound on the mossy stones. As she drew closer, the door, made of smooth, dark wood, seemed to open almost imperceptibly. as if welcoming her without a sound. She stepped across the threshold, and as she did, she felt a subtle shift in the atmosphere, a sense of being embraced by an even deeper stillness. Inside, the air was warm and dry, a comforting contrast to the cool mist outside. The soft apricot light she had heard whispered about filled the space not from any visible source, but as if emanating from the very walls themselves. The gentle, diffused glow cast soft shadows and illuminated rows upon rows of shelves that lined the walls, stretching upwards into the dim, high ceiling. The scent of old paper and dried herbs hung gently in the air, a comforting and familiar aroma. Standing just inside the doorway, a figure emerged from the soft apricot light. It was a person with a gentle face and kind eyes, their hair streaked with silver like moonlight on water. They wore robes of a soft, muted blue that seemed to blend seamlessly with the shadows. A warm, welcoming smile graced their lips as they extended a hand towards Anya. "Welcome," they said, their voice soft and soothing as the murmur of the stream outside. "I am Rowan. You have found the Library of Rain." Chapter 2. The First Raindrop Book. Rowan's hand, when Anya took it, was warm and gentle, a reassuring touch that spoke of peace and welcome without a single word. They led Anya further into the library, deeper into the soft apricot light, past towering shelves filled with books unlike any she had ever seen. These were not bound in leather or parchment, but seemed to be formed of a translucent, almost crystalline material, each subtly shimmering in the gentle glow. "These," Rowan explained, their voice a quiet melody, "are the Raindrop books. Each one is crafted from a single raindrop, captured and solidified within the valley's mists. Within each drop lies a story, waiting to be unfolded by the apricot light." Anya reached out and touched a book on a nearby shelf. It was cool to the touch, smooth and slightly weighty in her hand, like holding a polished river stone. The surface seemed to ripple faintly, catching the light in subtle, mesmerizing patterns. Rowan guided Anya to a cozy alcove nestled between two tall shelves. Soft cushions in muted earth tones were arranged around a small, low table carved from a single piece of smooth, dark wood. A small hearth crafted from river stones stood in the corner, a gentle fire crackling softly within, emitting a comforting warmth and the faint, pleasant scent of burning sandalwood. Rowan gestured for Anya to sit, and they settled onto the cushions. From a nearby shelf, Rowan selected a book and presented it to Anya. "For your first journey into the Raindrop stories," they said, "I believe this one will be fitting." The book Rowan offered was smaller than the others Anya had seen, its cover a soft pale green like newly sprouted leaves. It felt light in her hands, almost weightless, and emanated a subtle, fresh scent, like morning dew on grass. Anya took the book, her fingers tracing the smooth contours of its cover. She looked up at Rowan, a question in her eyes. Rowan smiled gently. "Simply open it," they said, "and let the apricot light guide you." Anya took a breath and carefully opened the Raindrop book. As the pages parted, the soft apricot light in the alcove seemed to intensify, focusing on the open book, bathing the pages in a warm, gentle glow. The pages themselves were unlike any she had encountered before. They were translucent, like thin sheets of frosted glass, and the words were not printed or written, but seemed to be formed of shimmering, iridescent particles suspended within the material. As Anya's eyes focused on the pages, the particles began to shift and rearrange themselves, forming words and images that unfolded before her. The story began to weave itself into her senses, not just through her eyes, but almost as if it were a gentle whisper in her mind, a soft melody in her ears, a comforting warmth on her skin. The tale was of a quiet meadow, bathed in the soft light of early morning. Dewdrops clung to blades of grass, sparkling like tiny jewels in the nascent sunlight. The air was still and peaceful, filled with the gentle scent of wildflowers and damp earth. As Anya read, she could almost feel the soft grass beneath her bare feet, the cool dampness of the morning air on her skin, the gentle warmth of the rising sun on her face. She could hear the quiet buzzing of bees amongst the wildflowers, the distant song of a lark in the clear blue sky. A wave of profound tranquility washed over her, easing the last remnants of tension from her body and mind. The story unfolded at a languid, unhurried pace, focusing on the simple beauty of the meadow, the gentle rhythm of nature, the quiet peace of a new day beginning. There was no conflict, no urgency, no drama, only the serene unfolding of a tranquil scene. With each word, each image, each sensory detail, Anya felt herself sinking deeper into a state of calm, her anxieties and worries dissolving like mist in the morning sun. She continued to read, lost in the quiet beauty of the Raindrop story, feeling the gentle warmth of the apricot light bathing her in tranquility, the crackling of the hearth, the soft murmur of Rowan's presence, the subtle scent of sandalwood all faded into the background, becoming part of the overall atmosphere of peace and serenity. She was simply present in the meadow, surrounded by dew-kissed grass, fragrant wildflowers, and the calming light of a new dawn, held within the pages of her first Raindrop book. Chapter 3. Stories of Gentle Gardens. Time seemed to soften and slow within the Library of Rain. Anya spent what felt like hours lost within the pages of the first Raindrop book, the story of the meadow, a gentle balm for her weary soul. When she finally closed the book, the apricot light in the alcove dimmed slightly, and she felt a deep sense of peaceful contentment settle within her. The warmth from the hearth radiated through the alcove, a comforting embrace. Rowan smiled gently as Anya looked up, her eyes soft and serene. The raindrop stories, they said quietly, have a way of easing burdens, wouldn't you agree? Anya nodded, a small, genuine smile gracing her own lips. It was like being there, she murmured, in the meadow. So peaceful. She ran her fingers over the smooth cover of the Raindrop book, still feeling the lingering tranquility of the story. Each book, Rowan explained, holds a different kind of peace. Some tell of serene landscapes like the meadow you experienced. Others speak of gentle activities, quiet acts of creation, or the simple joys of companionship. It is the library's way of offering what is needed, even before we know it ourselves. Rowan gestured towards the shelves around them, a silent invitation to explore. Anya rose from the cushions, feeling lighter and more at ease than she had in weeks. She wandered slowly along the shelves, her fingers trailing lightly over the spines of the Raindrop books. Each cover was unique, crafted from subtly different materials and hues, each emanating a faint, distinct scent. Some smelled of fresh rain, others of blooming flowers, some of warm spices, and others of cool, damp earth. One book, nestled amongst others with covers of blue and green, caught her eye. Its cover was a soft, earthy brown, inlaid with tiny, dried flower petals and smelling faintly of rich soil and herbs. Intrigued, Anya gently pulled the book from the shelf. It felt warm in her hand, almost as if it had been warmed by the sun. She looked at Rowan, who nodded encouragingly. Returning to the cozy alcove, Anya settled back onto the cushions, the earthy-scented Raindrop book resting in her lap. She took a deep breath, inhaling the comforting aroma of soil and dried petals, and opened the book. Again, the apricot light intensified, bathing the pages in its gentle glow, and the story began to unfold. This time, the tale was of a quiet garden, bathed in the soft afternoon sun. A gentle breeze rustled through the leaves of flowering herbs and fruit-laden trees. The air was filled with the buzzing of bees collecting nectar, the chirping of crickets hidden amongst the foliage, and the sweet scent of ripe berries and blooming jasmine. The story followed the slow, deliberate movements of someone tending to the garden, their hands gently working the soil, pruning leaves, and watering thirsty plants. As Anya read, she could almost feel the warmth of the sun on her skin, the soft earth beneath her fingertips, the gentle weight of a watering can in her hand. She could smell the fragrant herbs, the sweet blossoms, the ripe fruit. She could hear the buzzing of bees, the chirping of crickets, the gentle rustling of leaves in the breeze. A deep sense of calm and peaceful activity settled within her, a feeling of quiet purpose and connection to the earth. The story described the simple pleasures of gardening, the satisfaction of seeing seeds sprout and grow, the joy of harvesting ripe fruits and vegetables, the peaceful rhythm of tending to living things. It spoke of patience, care, and the quiet beauty of growth and nurturing. There was a gentle sense of accomplishment in each small task, a feeling of harmony with nature's cycles. Anya continued to read, lost in the gentle rhythm of the garden story, feeling the imagined warmth of the sun, the scent of herbs, the quiet satisfaction of tending to growing things. The sounds of the library faded once more, replaced by the gentle sounds of the garden, the buzzing of bees, the chirping of crickets, the rustling of leaves. She was surrounded by a tranquil garden, a sanctuary of peace and quiet growth, held within the earthy scented pages of her second Raindrop book. Chapter 4. The Light of Evening Serenity. The afternoon deepened, and the apricot light in the library shifted, becoming richer and warmer, casting long, soft shadows across the shelves of Raindrop books. Anya, feeling refreshed and calmed by the stories of the meadow and the garden, closed the earthy covered book and looked around the alcove. The fire in the hearth had settled into a steady, gentle glow, radiating a comforting warmth. Rowan rose and moved to a small table nearby, where a steaming kettle rested beside a tray laden with mugs and a pitcher. "Would you care for some spiced cider?" they offered, their voice soft and inviting. "It is a tradition here in the library as evening approaches." Anya smiled and nodded, feeling a pleasant warmth spread through her at the thought of a warm drink. Rowan poured 2 mugs of cider, the fragrant steam rising in gentle curls, carrying the warm scents of cinnamon, cloves, and apples. They handed a mug to Anya, the ceramic warm and smooth in her hands. The scent of the cider was deeply comforting, evoking feelings of coziness and contentment. Anya took a slow sip, the warm, spiced liquid soothing her throat and filling her with a gentle warmth that spread through her chest. They settled back onto the cushions, sipping their cider in comfortable silence. The only sounds were the gentle crackling of the hearth, the soft murmur of the mist outside the library walls, and the quiet rhythm of their breathing. Anya felt a profound sense of peace settle over her, a quiet stillness that had been absent for so long. She looked at Rowan, their face serene and kind in the soft light. "This place," Anya began, her voice barely a whisper, "it's a sanctuary." Rowan nodded gently. "It is meant to be," they replied, "a refuge from the clamor and restlessness of the world. The Library of Rain was built to hold peace, to preserve it, and to share it with those who seek it." Rowan paused, taking a sip of their cider. "It has been here for centuries, tended by generations of librarians, each dedicated to the gentle magic held within these walls." "And the Raindrop books," Anya continued, "how are they made?" Rowan smiled. "That is a quiet secret of the valley," they said, "but I can tell you that the mist itself plays a part, and the gentle energy of this place. Each raindrop that falls within the valley carries a whisper of its peace, and when captured and solidified, that peace is held within the book, waiting to be released by the Apricot Light. Rowan gestured to the walls around them, shimmering softly in the deepening evening light. The library itself is also part of it, they explained. The stones are imbued with the valley's tranquility. The light that fills this space is a gentle emanation of its peace. Everything here is designed to foster calm, to ease anxieties, and to nurture the quiet stillness within. They continued to talk softly, Rowan sharing stories of the library's history, of the generations of librarians who had cared for it, and of the many visitors who had found solace within its walls. Anya listened, her heart filled with gratitude for having found this peaceful haven. The warmth of the cider, the gentle crackling of the hearth, Rowan's soothing voice, the soft apricot light, all combined to create an atmosphere of profound serenity and contentment. As the last of the cider was sipped and the evening deepened further, a sense of quiet drowsiness began to gently wash over Anya. The stresses and worries of the world outside seemed to fade into a distant dream, replaced by the warm embrace of the Library of Rain, its gentle stories, and its profound, pervasive peace. The apricot light deepened further, casting a golden hue across the alcove, a promise of restful slumber and the quiet serenity of the night to come. Chapter 5. Whispers of the Morning Mist. Anya awoke slowly and gently, as if rising from a deep and dreamless sleep. For a moment, she wasn't sure where she was, only that she felt profoundly rested and at peace. Then the soft apricot light filtering through the window, the gentle scent of herbs and warm bread, and the faint murmur of mist outside reminded her she was in the Library of Rain. She stretched languidly, feeling a pleasant warmth spread through her limbs, all traces of tension gone. She sat up in the cozy bed, noticing the room for the first time in the soft morning light. It was a small, simply furnished chamber, with walls of the same shimmering stone as the library itself. A small window looked out over the valley, the morning mist swirling gently, creating a landscape of soft, muted hues. The scent of freshly baked bread and herbs, stronger now, drew her from the bed. Downstairs, in the main hall of the library, Rowan was already preparing breakfast. The apricot light was softer this morning, a gentle pearly glow that bathed the space in a tranquil luminescence. The scent of baking bread was mingled with the fragrance of brewing herbal tea and the subtle aroma of damp earth from the valley outside. The only sound was the gentle clinking of dishes and the quiet humming of Rowan as they moved about the kitchen area. "Good morning," Rowan said, turning as Anya entered, their smile warm and welcoming as always. "I hope you slept well." Anya nodded, returning the smile. "Better than I have I can't remember when," she confessed, feeling a genuine sense of lightness and well-being. this place. It's truly magical. Breakfast was a simple but nourishing meal of warm, crusty bread, fresh fruit, and fragrant herbal tea. They ate in comfortable silence, listening to the gentle sounds of the morning valley, awakening the soft murmur of the mist, the distant song of a mountain bird, the quiet rustling of leaves in the unseen trees. Anya savored each bite of the warm bread, each sip of the soothing tea, feeling a deep sense of gratitude for this peaceful respite. After breakfast, as Anya prepared to leave, Rowan led her back to the shelves of Raindrop books. "Before you go," they said, "I would like to offer you a small gift, a reminder of the peace you found here." Rowan selected a small Raindrop book, its cover a soft sky blue, inlaid with tiny silver threads that shimmered faintly. It felt cool and light in Anya's hand, and smelled faintly of fresh rain and distant mountains. "This one," Rowan explained, "is a story of quiet journeys and gentle paths. May it remind you to seek peace in every step you take, wherever your path may lead." Anya accepted the gift with heartfelt thanks, clutching the small Raindrop book to her chest. She knew she would treasure it, a tangible reminder of the tranquility and solace she had found in the Library of Rain. Bidding Rowan a fond farewell, Anya stepped back out into the Valley of Mists. The morning air was cool and damp, the mist swirling gently around her, but now it felt less like a veil and more like a gentle embrace. She carried with her the peace of the library, the calming stories of the Raindrop books, and the warm, gentle light of the valley in her heart. As she walked back along the mossy path, the sounds of the outside world began to filter through the mist once more, but they no longer felt harsh or jarring. Anya carried within her a quiet stillness, a sense of inner peace that the clamor of the world could no longer touch. She knew she would carry the memories of the Library of Rain with her always, a sanctuary to return to in her mind whenever she needed to find her way back to tranquility. And in the small, sky-blue Raindrop book clutched in her hand, she held a promise of gentle journeys and paths filled with peace, ready to be opened and read whenever she needed to find her way home to inner stillness